A little bit of Rolling Stones. $5,000 dots. Connect the dots, and it's gonna take you. If you ever did connect the dots and it will have 5,000 dots, you're gonna be there at it for quite some time. That looks exactly what I said just now. Safe SCP-1336. It will be stored in a secured vault in Section 19. It will be maintained in a document frame that will prevent accidental damage to the object. The front of SCP-1336 will be under constant observation by Level 3 personnel, and video images will be recorded at all times. Relevant screenshots will be sent to the Director of Operations for Level 3 personnel. SCP-1336 is a single sheet of 8.5 times 11 inches, 110 pounds cardstock. It has sustained very slight burn damage to one corner. It was recovered from the wreckage of a laboratory owned by the Chemical Corporation in. Nothing is known of the origins of the object beyond this. It came to the attention of the Foundation by way of information from the company itself. No opportunity to recover the paper came until several months after the Foundation learned of the existence of SCP-1336, when an explosion severely damaged the lab, killing 15 employees, including the informant. Foundation operators were able to enter the lab and recover the object at a time. Appearing on the paper are roughly 5,000 dots. Each one is circle about 0.3 millimeter in diameter. The dots appear to be printed in various colors. Under non-magnified observation, the dots resemble those printed by a standard color laser printer. However, microscopic examination reveals that the paper fibers themselves appear to be colored. There are no pigment particles apparent. We have here SCP-1336 in a semi-random pattern. Let's get a closer look. Whoa, Jesus. Okay. SCP-1336 in a non-random pattern. There's still 5,000 dots. I'm not going to, who's going to count them all? Who's going to count us? The attention of the Foundation was originally drawn by the fact that the dots slowly move around the page. While each individual dot moves seemingly at random, they will all form recognizable patterns from time to time. Examination of how the dots move is still unknown. How under magnification, it appears that the color oozes along the paper fibers, but no observation so far has revealed how the color flows. The dots have been observed to overlap each other and will temporarily blend colors. The dots have never been observed to stop moving. The speed is a constant 1 millimeter per second, though they seem to randomly change directions and rarely stay moving in any one direction for more than a few seconds. So at the end, they could always end up in the same position, but also they could just go zigzag. It depends. I guess it depends on the dot, huh? Almost without exception, the pattern created appear as structural formulas for various organic compounds. To date, the Foundation has recorded 11,467. Yeah, that I heard a little crack right there. Yeah, that felt good. Ooh boy. Ooh mama. Structural formulas. Of these, 453 did not appear in any current chemical registry. The Foundation has managed to synthesize 41 of the unknown molecules. 10 of these compounds have proven commercially viable and have been released through various Foundation from companies. The remaining 31 chemicals are still undergoing analysis and testing. Of the 412 compounds that have yet to be synthesized, 53 appear to be physically impossible according to currently accepted theories of chemical bonding. Another 48 contain symbols that are not known to represent chemical elements or functional groups. SCP-1336 is known to have produced images unrelated to structural formulas on 6 separate occasions. A1, an image of redacted, later identified as SCP redacted. A2, a map of the continental United States with the location of each capital city indicated, as well as 4 additional locations. Investigation in the areas indicated by the dots revealed redacted. A3, the phrase shared pain is lessened. A4, the date redacted and the phrase redacted. A5, a portrait of a middle-aged Asian male later identified as field agent redacted. The agent who recovered SCP-1336 followed the lab explosion. A6, an image of a video camera, see addendum B5. Addendum B, multiple attempts have been made to communicate with SCP-1336. To date, none have been successful. However, one test did not seem to show that SCP-1336 was aware of its environment. B1, attempt to verbally communicate, can you hear me? Repeated at intervals for 1 hour, no response. B2, attempt to verbally communicate, draw a circle, repeated in multiple languages at intervals for 2 hours, no response. B1, attempt to visually communicate the command, draw a circle printed on a paper in multiple languages and placed in a frame facing SCP-1336 for 24 hours, no response. B4, attempt to visually communicate, a copy of Da Vinci's La Gioconda, the Mona Lisa, placed in front of SCP-1336 for 24 hours, no response. Well, now we have an image of video camera. By a B5, attempt to communicate both visually and verbally after the production of Agent Redacted. A photo of Agent Redacted was presented to SCP-1336 and in the question who else was on the recovery team was repeated for 1 hour. The dots formed an image of the video camera that faces SCP-1336. The video camera, okay. B6, a high... God. 5 foot Afro. A high-resolution LCD display was placed on the wall facing SCP-1336, which showed a greatly magnified version of the object. The dots of SCP-1336 was seen to speed up by 50%. This effect lasted for approximately 2 hours before the dots slowly returned to normal speed. There was no further obvious response since then, and the display was removed after 1 month. I don't know. At the end, it is safe, and those dots are just moving willy-nilly, occasionally spitting out formulas. But it must be frustrating to like see this thing that creates these formulas, and you want to talk to it, but it just does not work, no matter how much you try. It's just like, yeah, nope, it's just... Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that.